In this video, we are going to add functionality with the mouse over this body element here. When we mouse over this element, we want the feed to pause. When we move mouse away, we want the feed to resume. In Vue, we bind events to the element using v-on directive, then colon, and the name of the event. In our case, it's going to be mouse over, the first one. And then what we want to happen when we move our mouse over this element. We would like to pause our scrolling. So pause method, which we'll add in just a moment. And then on mouse out, which will be v-on colon mouse out, we want to resume the scrolling. So resume method. And now, the same way as we use the shorthand for these bindings here, which usually would be v-bind, for events, we can use @ symbol. So rather than this v-on and colon, we can also use just the @ symbol as a short version. And that's what I'm going to be using here. Now let's scroll down to our methods section. And right at the bottom, I'm going to add 2 new methods. Pause. And the other one was resume. So resume. When we call pause methods, what I want to happen is to change the value associated with the paused property, this paused, to true. And then on resume, I want to reverse it. So this paused equals false. Now what's going to happen? If we scroll up, if you have a look at our properties, obviously we have this pause property here. And then if we scroll down to our swap method, you'll see that within this interval, we check if this pause property is not set to true. Then and only then we will slide to the next item. If this pause property is set to true, then obviously this will evaluate to false and we won't be sliding to the next item, meaning we will pause our scroller. If we then call resume when we move mouse away, then our property becomes false, at which point, if we go back to our swap method, this will evaluate to true and we will start going again from one item to the other. Now, before we finish this video, I would like to do some quick refactoring with this code. We are using ECMAScript 6 to build this component. As you can see, swap, all these methods are using just the name of the method and a set of brackets rather than the old way, colon and then keyword function, and doing it this way. So what we can also do is to replace our functions for the set interval and set timeout with the arrow functions. What that means, we are removing the keyword function, we leave the bracket, then equal, greater than symbol, and a set of curly brackets the same way as we had with a standard function, but now there's no need for binding the instance of our object because it's automatically available within the guts of this arrow function. So we can remove this binding here completely, and as you can see, we've safeguarded the space here. Same for this set timeout, we remove this function keyword. Let's do the arrow function and remove this binding, and everything should still work just fine. Let's see if we have any other functions. So I'm just going to look for the function keyword. There's none. So if we save it, if we open the terminal, and if we compile everything the same way as before, let's wait for this to complete. And once all this has finished, and if we preview it in a browser, as you can see, it's scrolling. If I move my mouse over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have it set to 5 seconds. I've already exceeded 10 seconds. It's all paused. It doesn't go to the next item. But if I move my mouse away, the scrolling resumes. So we've managed to do the pause and resume on our component. In the next video, we are going to have a look at these buttons on the right-hand side.